The long-awaited Contractor Plus V2 is finally here. Let me show you what you can expect on the new platform. We have completely redesigned our schedule. Now we have both unscheduled and unassigned groups, so you can see events that are scheduled but not yet assigned. So you can wait until the day of to assign based on resource availability and even location. You can see how far they are. As long as you're tracking locations, you can see the distance from the individual service address. Or vice versa, you could have something assigned but unscheduled. Or it could be both unscheduled and unassigned. So totally flexible here. You can easily schedule new events. We allow you to filter out new filters, so it's super optimized. We have the month view, the week view, the day view, and the list view. And in the list view, you can apply filters by date, so you can group here by date or by team member. So I can go print all, or I can even print or send individual schedules to individual team members. So I can email it, or I can print it off and hand it out. So you get to choose how you run these off and how you print these off, but it's super flexible. Also on the mobile apps, this has completely been revamped. It's been one of the largest complaints we've had since day one that our mobile app is only a daily resource view. Now it's not. So now you have the week view, the month view, everything you have on the web, you have on mobile. We have added a new module called Opportunities. Opportunities can be related to individual contacts, clients, leads, service addresses, and they allow you to track your deal flow value. You can create multiple Kanbans to track different things, different pipelines, but you can just drag something. Whenever a lead changes status, you can drag it to a different lane. You can drag it to a different lane, and you can track your deal flow pipeline, and this really helps your sales team work the leads and see them through to completion. We also have the list or the table view here, so if you prefer just to look at a list, you can do that as well. Now we've grouped leads, clients, service addresses under a CRM menu, and you can see here if I open up a client profile, forgive the dummy data, we completely revamped what this looks like. So every single point of contact, you will have all of the, every attribute you need to track on a per contact basis, but you can also log notes. You can send and soon receive emails, send and receive text messages, make and receive phone calls. And anytime there's any contact history, it'll show up here in this activity. I'll show you more on this here in a second. And same for service addresses. We've added profiles for every single property. So now, whenever you add a property, we'll try to fetch an online available image for that service address, just to kind of beautify the UX a little bit. And there's a timeline view, so you can see all communication history related to each service address, and also full attribution at the service address level. You can track opportunities there. Each property can have multiple points of contact, so you can add different types of contacts for the property, tenants, property access codes, everything you need on a per service address basis. We have completely revamped our jobs module, and this will continue getting better. This is, just one step in the right direction, but it's definitely a lot better. So now we have both recurring and standard jobs, and we have added this right here shows the visits tab, so that means it's a recurring job. So that would work the way our jobs works today. Now let's find a normal job here. We have added a job schedule, which has a Gantt chart where you can track phases, tasks, and subtasks on a timeline Gantt view. So this helps you manage longer multi-phase projects. Okay. And we've also vastly improved how you would invoice from the job. So if you go to generate invoice, now you can invoice based on your tasks completed or on the hours worked. And you can add unbilled expenses, unbilled materials, unbilled mileage, and unbilled equipment. So if you need to invoice for specific things, we can automatically add that to the invoice that's generated. Definitely a huge improvement for how you invoice from the individual job. And probably the biggest improvement in V2 is our estimates module. So I'm going to go in here to estimate settings. Right now it's called proposals. So we realized everyone calls estimates different. Some people prefer quote and some people prefer estimate in their business because they're technically different, and estimation could be flexible, where a quote is usually a fixed price. So we are allowing you to rename this module to whatever you want. You can call it estimates, quotes, bids, proposals, scopes, and we will rename it everywhere throughout the entire solution. Right now it's called proposals, so I'll just leave it there for now. You can see here this list of proposals here. We've added a lot more filter options throughout the entire solution. So you can see here you can apply conditional filters to filter this list down and look for exactly what you need to find. And we've also changed the view. We've added multiple views. So you have the table view and the list view, and this applies throughout every module. So just to give you a better user experience based on your own individual preferences. Now I'm going to go to new proposal, and I will select a lead. Service address is pre-selected, and you'll notice here this entire experience has improved vastly. Now we have multiple line item types. You can add a labor line item. You can add an assembly, which would include labor plus materials. You're familiar with this modal, I'm sure. You can add a materials line item, which is materials only. You can just add multiple materials to a single line item. You can add a permit, or you can add text, which is just information only. Now, we've also added integrations with ABC Supply. We have QXO coming soon. We're adding Menards as well. So you're going to notice a lot more material supplier options. But most importantly, we have added the ability to mark line items as optional. So I haven't enabled grouping right now, but you can see here that there's options. You can either use checkboxes or radio buttons. So a checkbox would be for like add-ons, things that are just nice to have but not must have, upsells, things that could increase your average ticket. And radio buttons are for good, better, best options. So if you want, in the case of countertops, you could say granite, quartz, laminate, whatever, and offer different pricing options. It's proven that when you give your customers options to choose different finishes, different qualities, your bid approval rate or your bid win rate will increase. And if you enable grouping, you can group different options in different groups and set how each group functions, either single select or multi-select, on a per group basis. Now, perhaps more important than all of that is Estimatic AI. You can click Create with AI up here, and you can either type what you're trying to create or you can dictate. So if you're just walking through the job site and you don't want to type it, you can just start recording and it will automatically put your notes into this prompt box. I need an estimate for a 12 by 16 deck. I'm going to use pressure treated lumber, and I'll need the 16-foot section on one side with flashing. I'm going to set the post in concrete. And you can see here, it transcribed pretty accurately what I said. Now, if you want to enhance the prompt, say maybe I forgot something or it might need more details, you can click the Enhance Prompt icon, and it's going to ask you a series of questions. And you answer these questions to the best of your ability, and then it's going to give you a highly detailed prompt that's in a format that the AI agents are going to understand and be able to do a really good job with. You can also attach photos from the job site. You can attach a reference estimate. Say a competitor beat you there, and you can just snap a picture of it and attach it and say, hey, change this and do this different. You got a winning estimate in 10 seconds. Or you can attach blueprints and drawings. We also have an Eagle View and Hover integration that are both in progress right now. They're coming very soon. So you'll be able to get your measurements directly in here on Contractor Plus Estimates and an Estimatic. And you can configure advanced settings. You can have the AI think of upsells and add-ons to add for you. Just enable this. Things that you may not think of yourself that your client may want to do and increase your average ticket. You can have it recommend good, better, best options where appropriate. And you can decide. So notice it says missing cost book or pricing templates. Now what this means, if you have your line items added to Contractor Plus, and then Estimatic will always reference your own template library before it tries to write anything. So it will bid the way you need it to. And you can decide what it should do when there is not a cost book or there's not a line item in your template library for that specific task. Do you just want it to write it based on best practices? Do you want to apply a manual override? You can set that here. Same with how it should apply markup, and you can choose your preferred suppliers here. So if you work with ABC Supply, to select that, hit Generate Proposal. Once you hit Generate Proposal, it can take 2 to 5 minutes, and it will produce a really nicely itemized estimate with full itemization, grouping, options, everything you can think of, and a fraction of the time that it would take you to do yourself. So now let's go ahead and take a look at what's coming by mid to late November. We're adding the phone system that I mentioned. So you can make and receive calls right inside of Contractor Plus. We call it Contractor Plus Voice. So you can see here I can make a call, and you'll see a toolbar at the top, and it'll start ringing. Now, all calls are recorded, transcribed, and analyzed or summarized with AI. So you can search those transcriptions and call summaries. Now, you notice here, we have different types of numbers. So you can add personal numbers, and you can label them like Justin's number or whatever. So individual team members can have their own numbers. You can also add toll-free numbers. Each number can have its own voicemail greeting, so the message that people will hear whenever they can't answer. And you can even have call forwarding, so it could forward to a cell phone number or something, but we go through Contractor Plus Voice, so it's recorded and transcribed. Then you can also have group numbers, and then we also have premium numbers, which are the same as group numbers, but they're upgraded. They have a few more features. So if I go to edit the group number, you'll see what a premium number can have. So group numbers can be used as call groups, where you could assign multiple individuals who could answer the group. So I can just enable this group member. So when this number is dialed, then you can set it to round robin or all at once. It'll ring for 45 seconds, and I can assign multiple team members here. So, and I can even drag the order. Like if it's supposed to be in a specific order with round robin, I can choose who it should ring with first. And then you can also use group numbers for marketing numbers. So if you want to put a different number on different channels, say your Google ads or Facebook ads or whatever, then you can track in our reports, in your call report, you can track the amount of calls you've got from each number, which helps you track your attribution per channel and see how effective your ads are. Now you will have to, because we're allowing you to send and receive SMS, you will have to register with A2P 10 DLC. So you just fill out this form here. It takes a few days to get approved. Once it's approved, you can send and receive texts using Contractor Plus Voice. And all of your text message history gets logged right inside of your CRM under the appropriate contact, the appropriate service address, job, whatever. This is truly a central communication hub for your entire business. Now, if we take a look at the inbox here, you can see all of your communication is centralized in one inbox. All of your emails, your reminders, your text messages, your call logs, voicemails, it's all right here. And let's just take a look at an individual client. So I'll go down here and I'll pull up Joe Chase. And you can see here, had a call with Joe. You can listen to the call recording. You can download the call recording. We save all call recordings for 12 months, 1 year by default. So if you need to save them longer than that, just save it and upload it to Drive or wherever you want to store it. You can also read the transcript. So you can see the full transcript of the entire call. And all transcripts are searchable. So, if you need to find something that I talked to Joe about a month ago or a year ago, I can just search for it right here and it will look through all of the communication history and find that conversation. Really useful stuff. There's a lot more that I'm, not mentioning here just for the sake of time, but we also have Big Chief that's coming soon. Big Chief is an AI assistant that you can have answer your calls and text messages. You can assign it to any extension, have it answer calls after hours, or if someone else doesn't ring on a certain call group. It works just like a human would, except it answers, it works 24/7, 365. This is in development as well. It's coming probably mid-January. Needs tested fully before we can ship it, but just know now that V2 is out of the way, building new features and further improvements to our core platform is going to be a lot easier and faster. So you're going to notice deployments every 2 weeks. From this point forward, you will be getting an email from our team explaining what was shipped. And sometimes it'll be a bunch of small stuff, and sometimes it'll be something really big. So thanks for your continued support and sticking it out with us while we were working on this. It was a major undertaking. We completely changed our entire code base on the back end and the front end to make Contractor Plus more efficient, to better serve our customers. We appreciate your business, and we hope you enjoy the improvements in V2 and the further improvements that are on the way. If you have any questions or experience any issues, reach out to our customer success team, and we're here to help.